Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to demonstrate my new tool, Rapid Slideshow and Presentation Maker. This is just a demonstration and I will make a detailed tutorial later on. So after loading the script, you get this one single button. You can dock it any way you like. And then when you click on that, you get the actual script. Now I make this in this way so that we can easily minimize and maximize, and we can just move it anywhere we like. It's not dockable, but it's easy to move that and save a lot of space. So I have some images. I'm going to make a slideshow out of that. I'm going to create a composition. And if I want to make it automatic, then I can just go to Magic and I can just choose some options. So zoom in, zoom out, fit to width, wiggle, and fade in, fade out. And if I click on this Magic Slideshow Maker, it will automatically create a slideshow for me, which is just very simple. Fade in, fade out, and zoom in, zoom out slideshow. And it's just very simple. And it has some wiggle a little bit. Now, if you double click on that, you can see everything is sequenced properly. And there's no keyframes. That's the main thing about this script. We will not find much keyframes in this script. So we can actually move the image however we like. And it's going to set it up automatically, the movement and everything. So if I have this movement from here, zooming in, I can actually zooming out a little bit more or less if I want to. And it will start from there. Okay, now we have another option. If I want to make a slideshow with some 3D option, we have that too. So I'm going to put all of the images in here and then go to Magic. And we have two options. One is simple 3D and fancy 3D slideshow. So before we test the simple 3D or fancy 3D slideshow, we need to set up how long each of these slides should be. So I can go to the slideshow and then I can easily make some customization in here. So this tool will allow you to change the anchor point very quickly, as you can see. And I want to fit all of the slideshow to the screen. Now, if we do the fit to comp, it's going to stretch all of the images, what we don't want. So we can fit to width, and then everything is going to be fit properly. And then we can decide how long each of the slides should be. As you can see, this is a 2 minutes long video. We can click on here, we can type here something, or we can click here and quickly change the duration of each slides. If I want each of them 2.5 seconds, press enter, it will just make it 2.5 seconds. If we don't know that how long the slideshow should be, so I have 10 images here and I want to fit it inside 40 seconds of timing. So I can type 40 here and then calculate. It will automatically decide that how long each of these slides should be. So now if I go to sequence and try to sequence that, as you can see, it is 40 seconds now. So in 40 seconds, it's going to finish. If we need to change the position of any layers or scale, we can do it directly from these sliders here. So if I want to change the position of this, I don't have to go to the position or press P to see that options. We can just simply go for X and then it will just go like, we can change the position very quickly, or Y position. If we have a 3D layer, then we can just send it to Z space and this will change the scale very quickly. So I can select a bunch of layers and then press this one to change all of the scale for all of them very quickly. And if I want to flip something, let's say I have this image that I want to flip, we can click on this and it will very quickly flip it. Or we can rotate that. Very handy. You don't have to right click and then go to transform and then do this. You can easily do it from here. We can reset all of the position of original image position by just selecting everything and just click on this reset button and it will become original size for all of them. To demonstrate the 3D simple feature, we're going to just get 3 images just to make it fast. make it 4 seconds long. We want to fit to the width, and just click on the simple 3D. It will take some time to create some other stuff, and it will be ready within a minute. And it's done. As you can see, we have slideshow in 3D, but we can just go inside this and we have a lot of other features that we can play with. For example, if I play it, it will look like this. We have a lot of individual settings that we can do. For example, each of these layers has its own settings. If I go to control, effect controls, then we have individual settings for this selective image. If we want to move that, scale it down, do whatever you like to do, all are in here. So you can scale it down or move it like this to frame it properly. And then if you want to scale it down, then we can just use this. If you want to, instead of individually setting it up, we have a master controller. We can scale down all of the images at once, as you can see. We can set up some borders if we need to. Check on that, and we have a border. And we can make it this. So all of the images has border. We can change the border color. Now let me show you some other features quickly. If you want to make some simple slideshow, which is going to zoom in and zoom out, and that's all, we can do it very quickly by, let's say I want to do it for 2.5 seconds. And I need to sequence that properly. So how do you sequence? If we select from the bottom to top and go to sequence and then click on this sequence layer, it will sequence all of the layers as the selection order. If we select from top to bottom, then it will sequence from top to bottom. We can overlap each sequence as well. So if I just say I want 20 frames overlap, it will overlap 20 frames. And if I want to make some fade in and fade out on each overlap, we just click on fade in and fade out and overlap. Now each of this image has a overlap of 20 frames and fade in and fade out. Now this is not fit to the screen, that's why it looks a bit weird, but we can just click on fit to it. There's no black border anymore. We can easily select this layer and frame it properly. Now I want to zoom in and zoom out. I'm going to quickly reset that. So by clicking on this opacity reset, it is going to reset that opacity from all of this. So now it's gone. As you can see, it's gone. So what I want to do is do some simple zooming slideshow. You can decide by this slider how much speed you want in each zoom in and zoom out. So I'm going to do 17 and then just click random, and it's going to zoom in and zoom out randomly. I'm going to simply make 10 frames overlap. I will see zooming in and zooming out, and none of them has border. So as you can see, wherever I left that image, it is going to zoom in from that particular moment. And that zoom in and zoom out doesn't have any keyframes, so you can easily actually, if you want to individually zoom in this one, you can do it, and it will still zoom in. If you want to specifically move that and then frame it properly, you can just select it, move it down, and then you can frame it properly like this. So now I want some fade in and fade out, simple fade in and fade out in this images. So I'm going to say 10 frames of fade in only, select all of them and then fade in. If I play, I have just fade in and fade out of 10 frames, and none of them has keyframes either. So if I press T, you can see none of them has keyframes. If you want to do some wiggle, you can just slightly change this slider, and based on this two slider, you have a frequency and speed. You will see that all of this has now wiggle. So if I play now, it will just wiggle a little bit. You can easily reset that by just clicking here. If you want to remove the fade in, just reset. Now we are back to normal. we have a push slider. So if we select all of the layers and then decided to make just push in, and I can just select this in, and then if I do from this direction, then all of this has push in from that direction. And it's gone because this layer is small, but you can actually push out as well. So I'm going to reset that. Click on this middle reset button. And then I want to do both, push in and push out. And click on this direction. It will look like this. Now, if you want random direction, then we can just select all of the layers, reset that, and click on this both and random. Now it will fly in from different direction. If you want to pre-comp very quickly all of this, you don't have to just click and then pre-comp each buttons. You can select all of them, and you can decide that do you want to pre-comp and leave all attributes, or you want to move all attributes. So just for testing purpose, if I just add some effect here, add a Gaussian blur, select all of the layers, pre-comp leave. All of these layers has its own pre-comp, and as you can see, it left that attribute on that layer. Now I'm going to undo that, and this time I'm selecting everything and then pre-comp move. It will move all attributes. You can see we got all of the pre-comps, and if I select this one, I don't have that anymore. Double click on that, and I got that pre-comp with the attribute. Now the benefit of this is when you get moved, when you pre-comp as move, you get that image framing properly. So if I double click on this, and if I want to frame it this way, I can just pre-comp and then move and come back here, and now I got a properly framed image. Now this could be handy because next option, we are going to create some grids. If I want to create some grids, I need to make sure that all of my images are properly fit to the screen and properly pre-comped. So now I already have pre-comped. I'm going to select all of the layers and move it in one section, one area in the beginning. I'm going to click on Grid Maker, and it will create a grid for me with all of these layers. As you can see, I can just use this null object to move the grid. I can change the spacing in between, and I can decide that how many images do I want in each grid. So if I do 3 here, then each of these has 3 images now. I can rotate individually. I can scale it down, change the opacity of them, and scale each of them individually, and I can move it any direction you like, or I can use this slider, a null object, to move it. If I want to swap this, let's say I want this image go to this one, all I have to do is simply just grab that and then just put it on somewhere else where I want, and it will reorder everything properly. If I want to shuffle everything, select all of these layers, we can go to swap, and we can actually shuffle index. So click on that, and all of this will be shuffled. So the next option that I'm going to show you is how to create the borders. So if I have few images, so now I'm going to make some border. I can make some square border or faded border or custom border. If I do faded border, and as you can see, we have some borders in each of them. If I hide all of them just to show you one only, I'll scale it down. So as you can see, we have faded border. We can just go to border control, and we can change the softness or how much border do you want, like this. If you want the round shape, you can just go like this. Or if you want the square, then you can just go like this. Change the color if you need to. And all of this has that border. If we want to add some border on our image, we can just scale it down how we like it. And then we can use the square border, and we'll create some borders around the images. And we can easily control the border size and everything from this master border control. Change the color, change the width of the border, and so on. If you want to use a customized border with photo frame, you can do that too. We can use the custom border, and it will create an empty master border comp where we can add our custom border. Either we can download some photo frame or we can just create our own. And if we go back, we will see that change. If it doesn't fit properly, then you can just go to this custom border control and resize the image. And all of this has its custom border. If you want to do some animation with the pan movement, you can do that too. This is based on each layer's in point and out point. Click on this pan movement. And now we have the animation. Let's just organize it a little bit. I'm going to overlap it 10 frames. Just overlap. And each 10 frames, it's going to fade out. So it's just simple slideshow of panning the images. There's no keyframe in here as well. So if I press U, you will see no keyframe. And you can change the duration of that as well. And the fade in will do that, adjust that too. Now this movement can be controlled by this pan movement. If I go here, you will see a lot of options. You can specifically say that which direction the image should move. There's another option with some background. So if I delete this, if I just select all of them and just clear it out, it's back to normal now. If I use the blurry background, now I have the same thing but with the background. So it will look like this. I can change the scale of this too. It will look like this. And move it any way you like, and it will still work. If you want to make a slideshow for Instagram, then we can choose this size, and then I can click OK and select all of these images. And I don't know how long it should be. If I want to make a 50 seconds long slideshow out of these images, I can just click calculate 50 seconds and calculate. It will automatically calculate that how long each of these slides should be to cover in 50. Overlap 10 frames. Fit to the height so that there's no border in here. And I can reframe it. If I need to reframe it, I can do that too. And then once I'm done, I can select all of them. Use the zoom, random, wiggle. I want to add some wiggle to this. Add some music to this. Now, there's another feature about music in here. If I just randomly put some music, I'm going to select this, just this one, and then press O, and then press N to bring that. Select all of these music layers, go to swap, and then I have an audio feature where I can just say audio distribute, and it will automatically distribute those audios from some random timing, and then it will fade in, fade out, and try to fit it within that time range. Now, if I play, it will fade in and fade out that audio. And there's some wiggles. There's another thing that we can do. We can add some thumbnail. Now, I decided that we will have the thumbnail of this for this slideshow. So I can just stay here and just click on this thumbnail. And it will create a small, tiny one frame composition for that specific area. So if I just double click on that, you can see it is just one frame still image. It's not saved in your hard drive, but it just created that thumbnail design. You can just design your thumbnail or edit that or whatever you like to do. My slideshow. And now if you render this, as you can see, it is on the very beginning of the slideshow. So when you upload that on Instagram, this will be picked up as your thumbnail because it is on the first frame. So you can easily just render this out. So if I just play it now, it will look like this. another powerful feature of this script is if I just select all of them and just clear everything, like zoom, clear the fade out and fade in and everything. So right now it's just plain simple slideshow. Go to the effect and we have a smooth effect. So if I just click on this, select all of them and then just click on smooth, it will create a master layer and it will add some effect to each of them. As you can see, added some adjustment and then added some effects to that. Now if I play, nothing is going to happen. But when I go to this slider, we can either individually check it or we can just select everything, effect what we want. So if I do the scale, some rotation, some blur, click update. If I play it, it will look like this. It's just a transition. But if you want to add some movement to your images, we can click on ignore adjustment layer. So it will ignore all of this adjustment layer and select only the layers that we have. And we can add some zoom or whatever effect we like. I'm going to add some zoom, click random. And then if I play, it will look like this. Now, because I added only the scale and rotation and some blur, we can actually do some randomized stuff. So if I select everything now again, click on randomize, it will just click again, maybe click again, and then it will just randomly add some effects to that. So now we got this. We can add some random light leaks as well. So I'm going to just ignore ADJ adjustment layer and then click on light leaks. And now it created some light leaks adjustment layer. If I now play, it will look like this. If you want to delete that smooth movement, you can just select all of the layers we have. We can just clear all and it's gone now. So now we can just create the light leaks. Select from bottom to top, light leaks. And we have only light leaks now. We have some random transition as well. So we have some preset type of random transition. We can just use each of them, or we are going to add more stuff in here gradually. And we're still working on that. So we are adding some more stuff. We are adding some text options as well. And those will be applied by this, all of this. So we can just apply on each layer's in point and out point. If we want to add some blurry transition or blurry preset, then we can just do it in here. If I have these three images and I want to swap it with something else, let's say I have this three images and I want to swap it with something else, so I can select it and I can select randomly, click on this swap, project to comp, and this will tell you that you have three images only. Do you want to swap from these images? Press yes. And now we swap those images from this. The random swap will randomly swap in between this. We can sort the dimension. It will be helpful when we have some portrait mode images and some horizontal mode images. You can easily sort them out, especially when you're making borders. That will be helpful. You can select all of the images at once. I don't have any image right now. Maybe this one. So if I select everything and then click on sort dimension, it will ask you that where do you want to put that portrait mode image. So if I just say move to bottom, then I have this layer move to bottom. So I can easily sort all of this portrait mode image very quickly. If I want to shuffle these images, we can just click on shuffle index and all of these images. So first one was 7, last one is 9. So if I just shuffle that index, now first one is 7 and last one is 6. If I shuffle it again, we'll keep changing those. And the border fix, it will tell you if any of the images needs to be fit to the screen or width. Sometimes you may forget to do that. So if I import some images, and all of these, some of them are out of the border, as you can see, and some of these are inside the border, inside the composition. So if I click on border fix, it will actually tell you that how many layers you need to fix to fit it in the screen. So right now I have 8 layers. As I can see, number 6, we don't have to do anything because it's very close to that size. I think this is the number 6. That looks like fit to the height. Now I'm going to click on fit to width, and all of these are fixed. And this is already fixed, as you can see. If you want to bake the expression, we can actually use this. So let's say if I have, I'm going to delete all of them. So if I have a zoom in, so I'm going to make it like 4 seconds long and zoom in only. So it will do like this. And if I press U, there's no expression or anything. So if I press S, you can see there's some expression here. If I want to bake that expression into keyframes, we can use this magic and bake the scale or whatever properties you have. You just click on bake and it will bake that to keyframes. If you think that keyframe is good for you, not the expression, then you can just bake it if you need to. If we have some audio, we can easily manage those audio, the volumes and other stuff. Let's say I randomly choose to start this audio from here. I'm going to press Alt or Option, first bracket, and then I'm going to finish at this point. And for this audio, I want to do it from here and up to here. If I select both, I want to do some fade in, fade out to this. I can easily change this value from here. So if I go to swap, then I have the audio option. I can fade in or fade out. So if I say I want to fade in for 100 frames, fade in. If I want to do fade out as well, click on fade. Now if I press U, I will see both of these has some fade in and then it's fading out. If you want to fix it together, so we can just click on spread. It will actually try to match those fade in, fade out points. So even if I just move it here, if I select both and click on spread, it will actually try to match it. But I like this option where I just bring all of my audios that I want in this comp, and I just decide that how long the audio should be. So if I say my animation will be, or slideshow will be 1 minute long, I can just simply go to this work area and then just put it to 1 minute long, select all of the audio, and just simply click on this audio distribute. It will automatically distribute all of the audios from random position. It is going to sound like this. We can make some presentations as well. So if I have a presentation of something, let's say I have a background that I want to slide in and do some other stuff, text, and I have some images as well. If I select the background and I want to push it in from this side, I can just click push it in, and we just need to just select this one, push it in. Maybe this one we want to push it in from here, this one from that side, text from the top, so it will look like this. I'm going to do 5 seconds long. So that's all for today. I hope you like it and allow me to publish on your website. Thank you for your time.